This is the module for enabling Active Directory in Agility Platform. Today we'll be talking about how to enable Agility Platform to authenticate users against Active Directory instead of just its own database. It's a three-step process for full Active Directory integration. We'll want to prepare it, map groups to Agility Platform user groups, and enable created virtual machines to auto-join a domain. To do the first part, you'll need to gather some information. You'll want to make sure that Agility Platform can see the Active Directory server, and you'll need to gather this information. We'll talk about that further when you actually get into building the Active Directory components. Let's begin. We'll start by logging into an Agility Platform instance that doesn't yet have Active Directory integration built in, and we'll use an administrator account that has the ability to make high-level changes. But before we do that, we'll actually take a look at the Active Directory itself, look at the domain controller, and see what's waiting for you. It's a pretty simple Active Directory. IlludiumDynamics.local is the name. There is a built-in container users underneath that has all of the users. And I've built Alice, Bob, Sharice, and Doug, as well as an AP read-only account. That AP read-only account will be the account that we use to actually walk the LDAP tree. That does not need to be a privileged user. It just has to have the rights to see the LDAP tree. I've also built 4 groups: Freebird operators, Freebird power users, Hawkwood operators, and Hawkwood power users. Each one of the 4 users is in one of those groups. And those will map to existing Agility Platform user groups so that we can actually place users in Active Directory into those user groups and then map that all the way in. Now what we'll need is the fully qualified name of the user that we'll use to walk the LDAP tree. And the best way to do that, this is a little confusing because it's hard to see, is to open up a command line, either command or PowerShell, and issue dsquery users. And that spits back the fully qualified names of the users in the users container. As you can see, it's begin quote cn equals AP read-only account, cn is users, DC Illudium Dynamics, and DC is local. This should be not unusual to anybody who's done a lot of LDAP, but it can be confusing the first time you do it. And make sure that you're using quotes if you have any spaces in the names. So let's log into Agility Platform using that admin account. We can see all of the projects and all of the perspectives as well. And we'll start with the admin perspective. We'll navigate on the left side almost to the bottom to the authentication portion. And we don't have any existing authentication servers, so we'll choose to add one. The authentication server name is the name of the object, so that can be the actual name of the domain controller you're talking to, or it can just be a name that you choose. And the authentication type, the 2 types supported right now are Active Directory or LDAP, and we'll choose Active Directory. And we choose OK or Save, and that's there. Now we have some more information to fill out on the right side. Like I said, the name can be anything that you want. That's just an Agility Platform thing. But the host name we'll actually be talking to, we'll use the LDAP : and either the IP address or the fully qualified name there. We'll give this the domain name, the Active Directory domain name, IlludiumDynamics.local. Now that user DN. So this is going to be the user that's actually walking the LDAP tree for us and uncovering names. And we'll paste that in, and it's going to be begin quote cn equals AP read-only account, comma, cn equals, and so on. And that goes all the way to DC equals Illudium Dynamics, DC equals local, and end quote. We'll give it the super secret password there. Now we'll need to decide where we're searching for users. With our example, all of the users live in that user container, so it should be easy to find. If you need to have the LDAP search look in other places, obviously you'll use something else besides cn equals users. And lastly, we'll put in a filter so that the LDAP queries are only looking for user objects rather than computer or service counts or anything like that. As you can see, we have object class equals organizational person and so on. You can tune this to however you wish. The larger the LDAP structure itself, the harder this can be unless you filter this down. So we've actually entered the information. We should be good to go. We can go down to the bottom right and choose Save. And now we've connected to Active Directory. Now we jump over to the second tab that says Group Mappings. The first tab actually lists authentication servers. The second one is the group mapping. So we actually want to map an Active Directory security group to an Agility Platform user group. And so we start by giving the Active Directory security group name, and we'll start with the Freebird operators on that particular authentication server, and then we'll map that to one or more Agility Platform groups, user groups, and there's Freebird operators. And if I choose Save, then I can see that that is mapped, and that gray box at the bottom says Freebird operators. But if I wanted to map that to other groups as well, maybe have one group that was operators for multiple projects, I could do that. Now in the interest of time, after I say Save, I'm going to go ahead and jump forward to where I map the other three groups. As you can see, we've got the Freebird operators, Freebird power users, Hawkwood operators, and Hawkwood power users. Freebird and Hawkwood are project names inside the Agility Platform instance that we've got. So we can log out. We can log in as Alice, who is a Freebird power user. And we can see that she can only see the Project Freebird, but at the top right, you may have noticed she can see the other perspectives as well. Designer, Policy, Admin. She's a power user. Log in as Sharice, who is a Freebird operator. Then I can see Project Freebird, and I can't see the other perspectives, Designer, Admin, or Policy. And then if we log in as Doug, who is a Hawkwood operator, then again he sees Project Hawkwood. He does not see the other perspectives. He's logged in as an Active Directory user, and everything works. And that's how you set up Active Directory for authentication. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see further videos, we have them on our SharePoint site at Cloud Training. If you'd like more formal training, please visit us at the aptraining.csc.com site. And if you have further questions or comments, please send us an email at training@servicemesh.com.